Hello. Right, I'm back just for an hour or so, just to do a bit more of the MSQ. Trying to get through the MSQ as quickly as possible because I just don't want spoilers. And fortunately, because it's an MMO, spoilers pop up just from people being careless. Trying to get through the story. The lacerations and burns are unmistakable. A Lycon was indeed responsible. The creature is nowhere to be seen. Doris must have taken it away. The man makes his base at the 12 Wonders. I shall go and seek him out there. MHL and I will search the area for good measure, just to make sure the Lycon did not escape. Many thanks. Let us meet at the 12's Wood when you are finished. I will go on ahead, please follow with Nima. Come, it's down this path and over the bridge. There it is, the 12 Wonders. Hermes is looking for Doris. Let's look for Doris too. He's a man with long blonde hair, I think. I'll know him when I see him. Once I get back and record today's results, I should finally be able to put that report to bed. Not Doris, his hair is long, but the colour is wrong. That's Doris. Well now, if it isn't Metian, what brings you here? I thought I heard familiar voices. Didn't realise you two had decided to help me search for Doris, thank you. You're in charge of the Lycaones, I believe. Where are they now? Out in the fields, in restraints, frenzied as they were. I couldn't well return them to Ctisses. Once I've submitted our report, See them averted without delay. It's as he says, the beasts are indeed quite ferocious. You're one of the 14, what brings you here? Nothing you need to concern yourself with, as you are. I've heard the news that Lycan slaughtered occupates. As the observer in charge, you're of the opinion that they're not fit to be released. I am. Their abnormal aggression and exceptional strength makes for a highly problematic combination. Matters not where they are released. Lycans would rather threaten other species and upset the natural order. Could it be that specimens observed are an outlier? Highly unlikely. We've created a good many of them, all exhibited the same tendencies. Even when we used chaos to begin with, fresh slate, their behaviour was unchanged. Chaos. A memory reconfiguration system. The Chief himself created it. It allows us to erase or alter memories that we may observe creations in different environmental conditions without needing to remake them from scratch. Quite impressive and potentially dangerous, depending on the intensity of the etheric emissions. Patch Turret may wish to have words with you. Rest assured I've kept all values within prescribed limits, and to prevent misuse, its applications are limited to those authorised by the Chief Overseer. Do not misunderstand, to manipulate a subject's memories is an intrusive act I deeply abhor, but is still preferable to execution. Come now, Chief, let's not get so melodramatic. What was born of ether simply being reduced to its original state. I know the distinctions concern you, but you mustn't lose sight of the bigger picture, making rational choices for the sake of a more prosperous star. If a creation cannot be properly studied, even with the aid of Kairos, we remake it. If the creation is deemed a detrimental existence, we unmake it. It is all for the greater good, and none question the necessity of such routine processes. I understand these things, I do. I would never think to unleash a clear and undeniable threat onto the world. Yet insignificant through their individual lives, maybe next to all creation, it is all the Lycans have. Before we seal their fates, we owe it to these beings to exhaust all options, to ensure that nothing has been overlooked. If you insist, let me provide you with a full report and we may take it from there. Would it be possible for us to attend the discussions? M itself may better carry out his studies. By all means. Pray show them to the meeting room. Man, other beings are just things to be used, controlled like magic. That's what Hermes once told me. Hey, new shoes. I fear this discussion may take a while, during which time Etienne, are you feeling unwell? It's not me, Hermes, it's you. I won't go to the meeting, I'll stay with Nima. Loath though I am to impose, may I leave Etienne in your care again? I'm in your debt, if you excuse me. Can you help with something, Nima? The meeting will make Hermes sad. I want to cheer him up with a flower. Hermes likes flowers, most of all creations in Elpis. Most creations are expected to be interesting or beautiful, strong, better in some way. Flowers are different, they're designed to suit our emotions, what we feel and what to convey. Hermes likes that. I can't make flowers, so I'll search for one, and I want you to search with me. Let's start here, at the 12 Wonders. Vibrant purple flowers bigger than your hands adorn a tree. Ooh, so big and bright, I love them. But they might be too bright. You have to think of the recipient. That's what Hermes says. No flowers. If there were apples, we could have covered them in syrup. Let's head outside next, don't worry, we won't wander far. An array of beautiful flowers grow in the bed, their mix of colours forming a pattern. Better for Hermes, but they're hedged in. That means we shouldn't touch them. They're either under observation or poisonous. Any other place should be fine though, let's keep looking. Set on a tall, thin stalk, the oddly shaped flower is mesmerising in its undulations. Oh, a carneon, a flower that can move. When Hermes wasn't looking, it shot seeds at him. Not a good gift, maybe, but you're good, Nima, at spotting flowers. We'll find something soon. Probably nothing promising nearby. At best, common looking grass with some few tiny flowers. Nothing around here. Huh? Over there, Nima, something big, huge. Terrible stench reminiscent of sodden old boots pervades the air. Without a doubt, the culprit is the Marlborough-like creature before you. It's Adonis. The things around its mouth look like petals, but the flowers are the orbs on its head. When Hermes inspected it, it swallowed him up. He didn't even leave his room for days. What do you think, Nima? Would you like it? No. Not this one either. Finding a good flower is harder than I thought. Sorry, Nima, but could we search a little more? Maybe as far as the fields over there. I'll pick something after that, I promise. Lush green fields stretch out before you, ending where the sky begins. Ah, there's nothing. Whoa. Hey, you're not gonna help me? Okay, cool. Leave me to deal with this. Thanks. If that happens to you, I'm not going to help you out. Yay! It's the emotion flowers. Ooh, Elpis flowers. They're here too. Hermes likes and dislikes them at the same time. Like me, they're interliches. Like me, they feel pain and turn dark. That's only for Hermes though. For others, they're always white and bright. Truly, the flower was dark in your home. Then, do you have it too, a dark emotion? Yes, I have a few. Don't have to say it, I can feel something you want to hide. Won't you lend it to me, the darkness inside you? I want to make the flower dark in front of Hermes. It's been a dark place since before he created me. He needs to know that he isn't there alone, that others are sad too. Truly, you'll do it. Thank you, Nima, thank you. It means more to me than I can say. Can't wait to see how Hermes reacts. Let's go back and fetch him. Oh, leave me alone. Seems they're still talking. Let's wait until they're finished.
Hermes!
Oh, you were waiting for me.
You've finished talking?
Yes, we've come to a decision. My thanks for keeping Meteon company. Emmett Salk and Hythlodaeus have already retired to their rooms. There is room for you too, if you would follow me.
sounds down.
I want to show you something first.
Elpis flowers?
Go on. You're not the only one, Hermes. Others feel sad too. You're not alone.
I see Mission has shared much with you. May we talk a moment?
Yeah, let's talk.
I do not think it wrong that we live for the star, that we strive to make it a better place. And yet, in carrying out my duties here, there are times when I am plagued by doubt. Do you recall what Hythlodaeus said when we first spoke of my nomination? Death is the privilege of those who have fulfilled their purpose, a choice they embrace of their own free will. Perhaps it is, but only for man. Creations that he deems useless are discarded with nary a second thought. Some scarcely born into the world, afforded a handful of breaths before life and potential are abruptly extinguished. We make an effort to spare them the pain, but they sense what awaits. Rage and anguish and cower and fear, and it is not beautiful. Yet no one cares. No one. So fixated are we upon the duty that we do not pause to question the method. Pain and suffering, confusion and despair, writ plain in the eyes of those poor creatures. Yet no one sees. We turn a blind eye and carry on in blissful ignorance. Not to miss. And always, always the blossoms shine pure and white. A contradiction so blatant I could scream, want to scream. How can you all accept this aberration? Then I wonder, am I the aberration for thinking thus? And I'm filled with dread. But now I know I'm not alone. Not the only one for whom the flowers weep. I won't ask what you thought as you kneeled beside the Elpis, or if you only did it at Metion's insistence. Nevertheless, I thank you. To know that you too have experienced suffering is a comfort.
I've no more brooding, eh?
Indeed. Difficult though it may be, I must endeavor to be strong like you. The stars in the heavens, know you what they are? Though it is too far to tell, each glittering light could be a world not unlike Aetheris. A world filled with life. So many stars, so many lives. For us, there may be no higher purpose than to live for our world. But what of the other living beings out there? What is it that gives their lives meaning? That drives them day after day after day? To pose that question to our undiscovered cousins, I created beings of dynamis, who can traverse the vast emptiness between the stars. Meteon and her sisters.
Oh, he's made more.
Aye, sisters. She has a great many of them, and they have already departed on their journey, traveling to one star and then the next in search of life.
We are so leaving Heidelin at the end of this. Maybe not in this expansion, but I'm sure they're going to do a patch.
As one might expect, exploration on such a grand scale is rife with difficulties, and thus far I've naught to show for it. But I have faith that we will make some manner of discovery ere long. And when we do, I should be glad to share our findings with you, in gratitude for your kindness. It's getting rather late. We had best find our beds. It would not do for both of us to be sleep-deprived on the morrow. Come, Meteon. Let's head back.
All right.
Guessing she can commune with her sisters as well, so they would send a message to say that there's life on another star. Obviously, this was all before the R star split into reflections. Hermes appears solemn and sorrowful. An all too brief interlude, perhaps, but it is time I attend to my next task. Emixel and Hyphlodeus are where Hyphlodeus. We reached a verdict regarding the fate of Lycaones. 7 were created for observation. 7 must be unmade. Thoros has followed the correct protocols. As Chief Overseer, I could find no fault in his judgment. Lycaones would disrupt the natural order, ravaging and consuming other species until they themselves starve and perish. They cannot be released into the wild, and they cannot be allowed to remain here in Elpis. I intend to petition the Bureau of the Architect to have the concept preserved as a restricted purpose hazardous life form. Hyphlodeus has pledged to support me in this endeavour. Whatever the Bureau decides, the existing Lycaones will serve their purpose. Thoros has already isolated the creatures and is preparing to carry out the necessary measures. I will join him forthwith. It is my duty to witness the conclusion to this study. If you are resolved, then we have but to accompany you. Of course, let us be off. We return to the main arm. My what? A familiar essence you have. My, what a familiar essence you have. Like that of familiar. If you're familiar with the concept. Oh, just my little joke, Nima, was it? I am Hippothoe. Yumi. Yes, we're getting to that. You must say hello to our familiar friend here. She's an Aelorus. Aelori are one of our newest creations, highly attuned to abnormalities in their environment. At the first sign of danger, they'll sound the alarm. By which I mean mewl loudly. Though we do our best to preserve all our creations, Elpis is simply too large to maintain a constant vigil over each and every temperamental species. A more efficient means of detecting conflicts between creatures was in order. Thus I've taken this Aelorus under my wing to further develop her capabilities in this area, and she does enjoy our little walks. This evening we are testing her ability to pinpoint sites of conflict. Would you like to observe? Simply tell her that her task has begun and she'll do her utmost to locate disruptive creatures. Please do subdue any unruly subjects once you've found them. We can't have beasts running amok. Seems quite content, but in the name of science, what are the results? As I expected. Well done, little one. Magnificent creatures, the both of you. It's a shame we cannot give you a pair of tiny wings and a bell too, but it's against protocol, I'm afraid. The Elori are enchanted with theirs at birth, so they're able to acclimate properly. I'm certain you have your own technique, your own unique potential to rise to. However, in fact, why not join us for another phase of testing? Welcome, friend, to the Anagnorisis. I'm Sockles, and I manage this region under the authority of Chief Hermes, head overseer of Elpis. And you are, Oh, how unusual. Soul-bearing familiar. Familiar must have a mission, and yet you offer no message and carry no cargo. You perhaps here for the purpose of observation? Yes, that must be it. In which case, you need only mention my name to Charmian, and she will gladly give you a tour of our domain. Take us all in. Yes, yes, what can I do for you? Nima, is it? And Overseer Sockles wishes me to act as your guide. Oh no, I didn't mean it like that. I would be more than happy to show you around. I'm simply wondering why the Overseer chose to send you to me of all people. We haven't been here long, myself, truth be told. Till quite recently, I was wholly engaged in a prolonged research project at the Academia Ida. Surely there are other more experienced individuals who could provide a more comprehensive Scrambling is hardly constructive now, is it? The task was given to me, and I will attempt to cover the most salient features of our facilities to the best of my abilities. After all, it's not every day that one is asked to indulge the curiosity of such a rare, fascinating visitor. We can commence the tour this very moment, if you like. Then let us begin. You know, rather than have me lecture you as we walk along, I think observing firsthand what we do here in the Inauguras would prove more beneficial. I will point you in the right direction, and you can question my colleagues to your heart's content. Once we've completed the circuit, we can return and speak to the Overseer Sockles. Charmian is now accompanying you. Keep her at your side in order to proceed with the quest. Leave Charmian behind by entering a different area, putting much distance between you, or by speaking with her and selecting the option to part ways. Who do we have here? A familiar of some kind, judging by your ethereal structure. Yes, I'm accompanying Nima here on a tour of the Anagnorisis at the behest of the Overseer. A tour. Feel free to wander as you please, of course, but I'll advise keeping your distance from large creatures. The fauna I have under observation occupy a top tier of the food chain, and do not take kindly to intruders in their territory. Especially the specimens found on the other islands. They can be exceedingly hostile. While I'm sure you're quite capable of defending yourself, no one appreciates a surprise tusk through the abdomen, eh? Thank you for warning. We will proceed with due caution. Thunk, thunk. Charmian? Oh, and who's your friend? Atom's familiar. Why you appear so astute and deliberate in your thinking? You very much like to make an extended study of your composition and consciousness. Oh, do forgive me for my forwardness. It's my duty to chart the behaviour of familiars, and I find it ever so diverting. Arcane servants are rarely permitted to roam the world at will, you see, but our research here is given special dispensation. Once the subjects are properly registered as concepts, of course. There are times when the familiars are asked tasked with tending cattle, must otherwise coexist with other living beings. Such projects are brought to me, and I am responsible for observing and evaluating their potential compatibilities. Oh, but of course, if Azam might grant us permission, then you could abide here for a few years while I analyse. And on that note, we really must be moving along. Step lively, Lima. Hello, Charmian. Was there something? The overseer asked that I give this familiar a tour of the grounds, but I thought the best way to do that was to show her what we do firsthand. I see. Well, as my work is rather difficult to demonstrate, I hope a brief explanation will suffice. Our creations are many and varied, but I mainly preside over the plant life when it comes to watching certain grasses grow. One must be prepared to observe over the course of several years, and in the case of trees, sometimes decades, tedious perhaps, yet necessary. Plants are capable of altering an entire habitat. Their presence as a food source has an enormous influence on the local wildlife. Was that the sort of thing you wish to know? Yes, that was perfect, thank you. I think we've covered the main areas of interest. All that's left now is to speak with Overseer Sockles. La 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 la. I see you've completed the tour. Almost. We spoke with those in charge of the various facets of the Anorganorosis. I thought it would be fitting to end this visit where it began with you, Overseer Suckles. I see. What is your impression of the work we do here? That's some interesting people. I'm glad you could help further your worldly education. I'm glad to see you enjoyed the experience, at least I hope you did. You're truly a masterpiece of creation. Only a soul-bearing familiar could demonstrate such robust, cognitive, and cogitative faculties. Were you perhaps designed to inspire others? I feel something special has been woven in your aura. I don't know. You have an intriguing presence, to say the least. Please stay a while and share more of your thoughts with us. Yes, I second this invitation. In all the long years I've resided here, never have I encountered such a unique entity, and one of Ezim's no less. Cool. Back to the MSQ. Boris, are you hurt? What happened here? They caught me off guard. I I had them bound with ethereal shackles, but they became frenzied, even more so than usual, and broke free. They stopped 4, the other 3 escaped. I see them. 2 have taken to the air above the 12 wonders. Bastards up ahead, lurking in the fields. You and Nemo handle that one. The pair in the sky you can leave to me. If this is how it must end, then so be it. I'll render assistance to Emmett's help, unneeded though it is. Etienne, you're here to stay with Doros. But Hermes, Lycaons must be converted. Their pain. I would spare you their pain and mine. My burden, not yours, but if you're intent on helping, then please follow my lead. Baka, 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 baka. Appreciate your help and lament that it is necessary. There it is, our quarry, within striking distance at present, but it feels threatened, it may well flee. Here's my plan. You will approach slowly and in full view and draw the Lycaons' attention. Now, I warn you, its abilities are as fiery as its temperament. Once it spots you, it will unleash orbs of flame. But fear not, by my measure, you are more than equal to the task. Withstand the onslaught for a few brief moments. Now give me time to catch it unawares. Ready? Then let us begin.
Now. Oh. Forgive me. Please, forgive me. May you and your kin find peace. Wherever your souls may drift in the underworld. May you find tranquil seas. Be not forgotten. In concept endure. To reclaim form and one day live again. Serve not the star, or any purpose save your own. Live again, if that be your desire. Hate, if that be your want. We are worthy. But leave your suffering behind. Lay down your burdens, be born anew. Fly high, fly free.
Join the convocation, Hermes. You do not belong here.
Leave to replace another. To be replaced. It changes nothing. Tell me, do you think it right that we sacrifice all these lives for the sake of the star? And when the star has reached perfection, what then? If all who are satisfied choose to die, shall we all die in satisfaction? I do not know. Were I to take up the seat of Van Daniel, it would be tantamount to approving my predecessor's death. I do not know if it is right. And to be torn by such thoughts. I do not know if I am fit to represent mankind.
Hermes! Please don't be angry. It hurts so.
Forgive me. If you would still consider me in spite of everything, I beg some time to gather my thoughts. Meanwhile, Hythlodaeus, I fear I must trouble you to attend to the others.
'Tis no trouble at all. Take as long as you require.
And you, my friend, I pray you find that which you seek.
I expect we have some few matters to discuss. Shall we return to the 12 Wonders for a time? Aye.
Just sad because of things having to die. The other Leica ones have been taken care of. The incident is resolved, and life of Elpis continues as normal, or ends as the case may be. Rationally speaking, I understand Hermes' argument. No matter how well deserved the rest, there is a pang of sadness when a colleague leaves us. Never has a departure caused me such grief as Hermes appears to feel, but it must be like to experience such torment. Where to now? If there's anywhere you would like to visit before we leave, I should be glad to show you the way. Hermes not yet outright refused his position with convocation. He postponed the decision. As such, I may well resume my assessment. I cannot accompany him, but I will content myself with questioning his colleagues. Ever the pragmatist, and allow me to remain your humble guide. As for you, Nima, will you continue along with us? Wonderful. Our fellowship travels on. So we explore another part of Elpis and see what the new encounter had. If you were to follow me, we will first head back towards. Yep. From here we follow the path northwards to Noctenius. There we will find one of the teleporters which facilitate travel between the islands of Elpis. First-time travellers must be accompanied by someone with the requisite permission. As I've previously been granted, we only need to use the device once, and henceforth you will have leave to use it freely. Shall we? Here we are, Noctonius. This teleporter will take us back to Kalemios, Zephyros, the Western Isle. That's it right there, looming large over us. Step this way and we can soon admire the view from above.
I present to you Kalemios Zephyros. Here you will find a number of testing facilities, as well as the observation hub of Poiton Oikos. Right then, let's begin by... Well, well, an Arraius. How delightful.
And what, pray tell, is that?
Ah, that's a new species of shark. We approved the concept but a few days ago. Sharks are among the most popular sea creatures. Rare is the day when someone does not submit a new concept. At first, they were largely orthodox, consideration given to such things as size and environmental impact, and then a whimsical someone thought to bestow it with flight. Another, superior intelligence. And then the floodgates burst. Concepts with multiple heads, or arms and legs, and so on and so forth. It was getting absurd. A part of me wanted to tell them to go away and find something else to create, but again, I couldn't deny their passion. Here we go.
That was too close. Are you unharmed?
He's the one who Hyden's based on, then. Oh.
Well now, if it isn't a pair of familiar faces.
Benar, that we should meet you here.
Yeah, it's Hyden.
As I mentioned earlier, the better part of the convocation holds that when we retire is when we return to the star. Well, she is not among said majority. Even after stepping down, she carries on with her work. Benar is her name, and she is the previous Azem.
It has been a while, Hythlodaeus. You look well. Less so, Emmet Selk. I dare say the lines upon your brow have both deepened and doubled in number. A shame for one so young. You must make an effort to frown less often.
Easier said than done, thanks to your unruly successor.
How is she, if I may ask?
Incorrigible as ever. Rushed headlong into a volcano on the brink of eruption just the other day. I should be glad to share the tale in its entirety later, if you're so inclined.
Oh, you know I am. Now then, you are? I say, have you perchance come from the future? I do not believe we have ever met, yet I sense my magic upon you.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Therefore, if I wove the enchantment, I could only have done so at a later point in time.
What manner of magic is this, if I may ask?
A traveler's ward, of course. It prevents the corruption of one's ether. I see you are not ignorant to its presence. And while there are many protective spells, the one you bear is unmistakably mine.
Hold on. From the future? That's absurd.
What is it? Are you unable to speak of the matter?
The reality to which you must return exists as a result of the final days. You cannot reshape the past to undo the tragedies of the present.
So, Your actions here will not change your history, but they may yet affect the course of ours. How very exciting. I'm quite fond of delving into the unknown, and there's naught more unknown than the future. Until a moment finally arrives, we cannot know for certain what will come to pass, regardless of our supposed foreknowledge, so you needn't worry for us. More importantly, that you should go to such great lengths as to travel unto the past bespeaks the gravity of your quest. Will you not reveal it to us? Mayhap we can be of aid to your cause.
If this is true, then you've been keeping quite the secret to yourself. As a representative of the Convocation, I will hear it all. Your identity, purpose, everything.
Why don't we move to a place more conducive to calm conversation? I've been working here for some days now at an old friend's behest. If it is agreeable, we may make use of my accommodation at Poiton Oikos. We were meant to meet. I am certain of it. Else I wouldn't have marked you so clearly, and sent you unto myself in the past. It's precisely the sort of mischief I would get up to. And quite inspired, if I do say so myself.
Apologies, but before we move along, a colleague has tasked me with a matter which I'd rather not leave unresolved. It involves finding a certain concept engraved crystal, and the quick-fingered Oriaris, which made off with it. An Oriaris, you say? I think we might have seen the culprit before being distracted by the business with the shark. Would you like us to follow its ethereal trail? That would, of course, lead us only to Aureus. There is no guarantee that it hasn't dropped or stashed away the crystal you seek. Please, even that much would be enormously helpful. While you are hunting down the thief, I can follow behind and scour the forest floor just in case. So, I ask you to join the church. I would appreciate another pair of eyes to cover the land toward the west of here. Many thanks. There's a small bridge leading to the Poiton Oikos. Let's meet it up there once we've exhausted our efforts. Our last search returns. I'm afraid that the Oriaris no longer had the crystal, nor was able to find it as I followed in its wake. I don't suppose you fared any better. Crystal, well done. Wonderful, now I can focus on your tale without that missing concept nagging at my mind. You always had a knack for finding things. Aho, you too. Some of us seem destined to always be searching for ourselves and for others. Long ago, when I held the seat of Azam, I was for trekking back and forth across the star in search of answers to people's problems. Naturally, the need for such journeys has lessened considerably since I entrusted the position to my whimsical successor. Yet I am still eager to come running should an old acquaintance or new interest require my personal attention. That is what brings me to Elvis, in fact. Many times has my presence been requested, my opinions sought concerning the habitat of this or that creation. Agreeing to help locate the missing crystal was a minor distraction, which now promises to become a major revelation. How strange and wonderful it is the way one thing leads to another, wouldn't you agree? Yes, I would. Thank you again for your timely help. Now then, 'tis time I return to this stolen property. If you were to go on ahead to my accommodation, I will soon join you as soon as I have attended to that task. Follow the path straight ahead to the building at the top of the slope. I have the entire place to myself, so we can speak without fear of being disturbed or overheard. Right, that's my hour of play. I've got to stop for a bit.